Breaking right now, the Fairfax County School Board just unanimously voted to rename Robert E. Lee High School John R. Lewis High School after the civil rights giant. ABC 7's Heather Graff is tracking this for us. She's live in Springfield. Heather.
Well, Michelle, this is a decision that has been months in the making. You can see behind me, Robert E. Lee's name has already been removed from the signs at this school. And just moments ago, in a unanimous vote, the Fairfax County School Board decided to rename this school John R. Lewis High School. Now, of course, John Lewis passed away 1 week ago tomorrow, the congressman and civil rights icon. In the days since, there's been a growing push to rename this school in his honor. We've heard from students, alumni, and community members speaking over the last few days. Many of them spoke at a public hearing last night. Some of them spoke again during the board meeting today, saying it would be fitting to go from the name of a Confederate leader to that of a civil rights leader.
Today, I am proud to recommend that we change the name of Robert E. Lee High School to John R. Lewis High School. Congressman Lewis's name had rightly been under consideration prior to his passing. The significance of his life's work beautifully connects with where we find ourselves today as a nation.
And that was the recommended name. And then just before 6 p.m., the school board did vote unanimously in favor of changing the name of this school to John R. Lewis High School. It will take effect this fall. So even though students will start the school year with distance learning, they will be attending John R. Lewis High School. You can find much more on this breaking story right now on WJLA.com. For now, we're live in Springfield. Heather Graff, ABC 7 News.
Heather, thank you for that. And tomorrow we are expecting to learn funeral plans for Congressman John Lewis. His family previously said they wanted to wait until after the funeral for a fellow freedom rider.
He was a giant for justice.
Well, that message from Oprah was played at today's private funeral for C.T. Vivian. The Reverend and ally to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. began his fight for civil rights with sit-ins back in the 1940s. He was 95 years old. School districts are committed to their back-to-school plans as the pandemic continues. And like other school districts, Stafford County leaders now are looking to start the school year, like everybody else, virtually. In a story new at 5 o'clock, ABC 7 Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Tim Barber reports the school board has not yet approved that plan.
Some Stafford County parents were hoping the school board would solidify a back-to-school plan during Tuesday's meeting, but the decision was pushed to next Tuesday.
It's very frustrating because a lot of parents are trying to find one way or another to support their household and the school needs of their children.
The original plan looks similar to other districts, an option for all virtual learning or 2 days of in-person learning with 3 days of learning from home. But the rising number of COVID-19 cases across the U.S. caused Superintendent Scott Kisner to change his recommendation to an all-virtual return for all 30,000 students.
Whatever decision is made, I'm going to work equally hard to make sure it's successful.
School leaders delayed the start date 3 weeks to give the community more time. Dr. Kisner says he wants students to return in person as soon as possible, but only if it's safe.
I understand as a parent, you need to have some clarity so you could make the arrangement. So I greatly respect that. I know our staff wants that also.
After months of this, they still don't have an answer.
Christian Peabody is an elementary school teacher and president of the Stafford Educational Association.
They're supposed to have been on their well-earned summer break, and they haven't. They've been really stressed, and they've had massive anxieties for how schools are going to open.
School leaders have had 4 town halls already to hammer out the details for each plan, no matter what the pandemic looks like.
We're hoping for a decision one way or the other. We cannot delay this any longer.
17,000 school nurses across the country are calling on Congress for billions of dollars before in-person classes resume. The group makes up the National Association of School Nurses. ABC 7's Victoria Sanchez explains where all that money would go.
Which is why there's this level of urgency.
Preliminary back-to-school plans are starting to trickle out of virtual school board meetings across the U.S. after most classrooms closed in March.
The students, family, and staff have to be confident that their health is going to be protected.
National Association of School Nurses President Lori Combs says reopening plans and coronavirus safety improvements cost money. Just how much?
$208 billion.
The cash could buy masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, and fund extra nurses and mental health care professionals. The demand to U.S. Senate leaders was made on behalf of a group called Safer Return to Schools Coalition.
$208 billion is a lot, like you said. Do you think that at least any portion of it could be given to schools?
Well, we're asking specifically that it be allocated to schools.
Combe is a registered nurse herself with more than 25 years in Houston area schools. She says caring for kids is a responsibility that benefits communities in every state during the pandemic and after.
That's why we have school nurses in schools, right? We are that bridge between health and education.
Victoria Sanchez, ABC 7 News.